am Notme, I am art, and I don't know about you guys, but I often find myself struggling to recall the relative sizes of birds in the genus Corvus. I can only assume you're in a similar boat. So what do we do? What do we do when we can't remember something? What can we do to help ourselves? Well, we can come up with something called an aide memoire, which translates as an aid memory, which just means a memory aid, something to help us remember. So what I did, I took the liberty, obviously art and creation, that's my gift, and I used that gift to write a rhyme or a poem to help myself out. And I thought that by sharing it with you, hopefully in the future, if you find yourself in a situation where you are unable to remember the relative sizes of birds in the genus Corvus, then you'll be able to recall this rhyme and just help yourself out of that particular pickle. Okay, so here we go. Raven is the biggest. He's as big as he can be. Then we've got Crow, who's just a bit more wee. Scottish for small. Rook is smaller still, but only by a smidgen, which is a lovely word, smidgen. And then we've got Jackdaw, who's as big as a pigeon. And that's it. That's just that. That's the poem. That's the rhyme. So you don't have to remember a lot, which is good, because if you have to remember a lot in order to remember something else, it kind of defeats the purpose of it. But that's I'll do it once more. Raven is the biggest. He's as big as he can be. Then we've got Crow, just a bit more wee. Rook is smaller still, but only by a smidgen. And then we've got Jackdaw, who's as big as a pigeon. And we all know how big a pigeon is. So that has helped me out a huge amount in this very specific situation. And I hope it does the same for you. One thing that helps me quite a lot, actually, when it comes to remembering things, is it's easier to remember something if it is set to music. So along with being gifted when it comes to writing rhymes, I'm also, long-time fans will know that I am also very gifted when it comes to making beats. I'm a beat maker, much like Timbaland. So if you just indulge me a little bit, I took the liberty of crafting up a very simple beat that I think will complement the rhyme and just really allow this to take a hold in your long-term memory. So you'll be able to recall it if at any point in the future you find yourself struggling to recall the relative sizes of birds in the genus Corvus. Okay, let's get to that beat. Raven is the biggest. He's as big as he can be. Then we've got Crow, just a bit more wee. Rook is smaller still, but only by a smidgen, easier to gets in there. Then we've got Jackdaw, easier to remember, who's as big as a pigeon. Once more, Raven is the biggest, yeah, he's as big as he can be. Then we've got Crow, you remembered that, just a bit more wee. Who's next? Rook is smaller still, that's right, yes, but only by a smidgen. Finally, then we've got Jackdaw, remember that, who's as big as a pigeon. Just makes it a bit easier. Bass, Raven is the biggest. He's as big as he can be. Then we've got Crow, just a bit more wee. Yeah, Rook is smaller still, but only by a smidgen. Shamow! Then we've got Jackdaw, who's as big as a pigeon. Let's keep this going now. Raven is the biggest, you know he is. He's as big as he can be. then we've got Crow, Mr. Crow, just a bit more wee. You know he is. Rook is smaller still, but only by a smidgen. And then we have got Jackdaw, who is roughly the size of a pigeon. Yeah, Raven is the biggest, feeling it, big as he can be. You know he is. Then we got Crow, Senor Crow, who's just a little bit more wee. Rook is smaller still, yeah, but only by a smidgen. Then we got Jackdaw, woo, who's as big as a pigeon, feeling it. Raven is the biggest, yeah, he is big as he can be. And then we have got a man called Crow, who's just a bit more wee. Now Rook is smaller still, by a lot, no, only by a smidgen. And then we've got Jackdaw, Jackie Dawes, who's roughly the size of a little bitty pigeon. Raven is the biggest. He's as big as he can be. Then we got Crow. Yeah, just a little bit more wee. Rook is smaller still. You know he is. And then we've got Jackdaw, who's as big as a pigeon. You can miss out lines if you want. So that's it. That's the rhyme, a song, hopefully, that will help you remember the relative sizes of birds in the genus Corvus. As I say, it's helped me out a lot, and I hope it helps you out too. Raven is the biggest, he's as big as he can be. Then we got Crow, just a bit more wee. Rook is smaller still, but only by a smidgen. Then we got Jackdaw, big as a pigeon. Raven is the biggest, he's as big as he can be. Then we got Crow, just a bit more wee. Rook is smaller still, but only by a smidgen. And then we got Jackdaw, big as a pigeon. Oh Corvus, you're the birds of mystery. You've captured imagination since the dawn of history. Feathers are black, eyes are wild, you live inside my dreams. I look at you and I wonder, is everything as it seems? Oh, Corvus! So that is, I am Notme, I am art, and I hope that never again will you be embarrassed in a situation in which you are unable to recall the relative sizes of birds in the genus Corvus.